The more
Yeah,
people you
people.
talk to, the more potential clients you will get. All right. This is a Leverage podcast with Virtudesk, episode 83. And we talking to Ivan Estrada from Beverly Hills, California. Ivan, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. I'm glad that you actually made it to the podcast. And I was before we started, I was actually talking to you. You're the guy who made the very cool video in the empty downtown LA, which is never happening, but you did it during COVID. So it was amazing, dude. Seriously. It's just like
Exactly. It's funny that downtown LA, Beverly Hills, Bel Air. I mean, I Sunset, Hollywood. Like these places will never be empty like that again. And so I thought
ever, exactly.
exactly. Hopefully never, right? Hopefully we don't have to do any quarantine anytime
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah. No, but that was really cool, man. I saw that. That was just, dude, that was like very original. Nobody has that kind of video by you. So that's really awesome, dude. So I mean, you're a real estate agent in Beverly Hills, California. You're a pretty young guy, and I know you've been doing really cool stuff, and especially with your branding. So I just want to talk to you about your branding, how you do it, and I know it's real estate is not really the easiest industry to break into, and you have a real breakthrough. So um and so could you tell us how you actually were able to make your brand really stand out with all your content?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll kind of give you like a brief of who I am because all those little
Yeah,
pieces
what's
really
your story? Yeah,
together,
exactly.
right? The brand. So originally, I mean, as a kid, I had a record contract. I was signed at 12 years old, and
Oh
so I
wow.
was a musician. I was a singer. I was a solo singer, and early on in my career, my managers at Joe Tanis and Wally Roker, they taught me the importance of a brand because they said, now
Mhm.
you're going to be a brand, right? You are a singer, but we are in charge of packaging you to the world. And I was here, actually, my office here used to be William Morris, who was my representation, Jorge Pinos. And so early on, I learned how important it was, right? That having a brand is what made megastars in the music and the film industry. Um,
100%.
so I did that until I was 17, 18 years old. That kind of phased out. Went to USC, Marshall School of Business and Leventhal School of Accounting. I got my CPA. Mostly, I did that for
Oh
my
wow.
father. Yeah, so I'm a CPA by trade. Did it for my dad because he wanted to be a CPA and never got the opportunity to do so because my parents immigrated here
Mhm.
from Mexico and you got to work,
Uh,
right? He had two kids to feed.
exactly, yeah. So kids
And
could be
so
CPAs, yes.
right, exactly. So I,
Yeah.
being the good Mexican son that I am, I made our dreams come true, right?
Awesome.
And did that for a couple of years, realized it wasn't my dream. But that's what then got me into real estate, which it's going to be 14 years now. And, for me, what was important, I think what really helped me stand out, especially at the beginning, well, one, it was my videos because I was
Hmm.
used to being in front of the camera because I got a lot of training early on as a kid. So being
Hmm.
comfortable in front of the camera and also at the time, YouTube, it wasn't a huge thing. And so I saw this opportunity to use the skills that I had learned prior and to really use that to stand out and to leverage myself, right? My brand. Um,
Exactly.
and so when I
Hmm.
when I started early on in my career, I had all this knowledge, right, from previous jobs. I had my on-camera presence that I had learned from my music. I learned from business school the importance of marketing, branding, numbers, right? Then I got into accounting, and that's where I got my CPA. And so I had all this prior knowledge that I thought, this would be very beneficial in the real estate world because, you know, a lot of real estate agents, it's not our first job, right? You don't
Of
wake
course,
up,
it's usually they come from
I want to be a
other.
real estate agent,
Yeah.
right? And so I used these skills that I had acquired that I was really good at. And I thought to myself, how can I fold this into real estate? How can I make this help me stand out so that I can, acquire and attract? It gets more to attract, right? How can I
Hmm.
attract the right clients using the skills that I had learned in my previous experiences? And honestly, that's what in my opinion, I strongly feel like that's what helped me build my brand, right? It was the thing that I knew how to do very well, and I just doubled
Mm.
down as much as I possibly could on those.
Wow. Wow. That, I mean, big, thumbs up to you, man. You really nailed it, So, I mean, what do you think, how do you think it's important to actually brand with a purpose, like for the real estate agents? And my probably question to you would be, a lot of agents, they may not come from the same background and same industry, and the first time they actually discover branding when they get to real estate, and they talk to their real estate coach, and they come up and say, hey, you got to do branding. So
Right.
how would agents need to, how would you recommend them to come up with a brand, with a type of brand? I mean, where do you find it? Because it's
Yeah.
it's a very
Good question.
complicated thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is a complicated thing. It's complicated, yet it's very easy, right? Once you kind of figure it out.
Hmm.
When I given advice and when I got advice early on what a brand was, the question that they asked me was, what do you want to be known for? Right? Like every major brand is known for something, right? We know McDonald's for their
You're
fries,
known
right?
for the guy in the empty downtown LA behind a
Exactly.
desk.
I go to the desk, right? Well, for
Yeah,
the
that's what you're known for.
I was for many, many years at the beginning of my career, people would say, I don't know who you are, but I know that you're a real estate guy because you do all the videos. And this would be from someone at Cheesecake Factory, from someone at
Just
Target.
say on the street, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the cash register guys, like, because we market our videos pretty heavily. And that's when I knew obviously it was
Uh-huh.
working. I was
Yeah.
known for doing that. And so for any new agent who's starting and trying to build their brand, I would say pick three things that you want to be known for, right?
Hmm.
That are specific to you, that no one else, like I said, we're all very unique, right? We all have different skills and knowledge that we've acquired through life from previous jobs, from previous personal life experiences, because I think those are very important as well. Like, what three things do you want to be known for? I have an agent who was in insurance before, and he was a very successful insurance agent and a credible negotiator. And I said, great. Those two experiences, you've worked with people that are in the high net worth arena, and you're an incredible negotiator. That's part of your brand. And you need to make sure that those two things along the side where he's just very creative as well, like visually,
Yeah.
those are the things that you need to include in your social media, in your bio, on all of your newsletters, in when somebody asks you what you do, right? Yeah, I'm in real estate, but obviously you have to include those three things into your pitch, right? Into your talk when you're sitting down with a client, because they're going to say, well, there's thousands of real estate agents.
Why should I
Why
hire you? Yeah.
why you, right? And so I think
Yeah. Of
having
course.
the three things that you can think about for yourself that make
Hmm.
you special.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. So basically, and agents should probably, look at what their most strength and pretty much brand from there. And again, not everybody's artistic or creative. So maybe sometimes, hiring outside help would help, would would help to come up with something creative, but yeah, I totally agree. And it's like you have a, let's say, Dom Perignon that's behind you. You got the poster. Everybody recognizes, everybody knows Dom Perignon. So
Yeah.
it's a brand right there, world known brand. Boom, So that's pretty cool. So you've been really, really doing well with using your videos to promote your brand awareness. And can you share some ideas on how to leverage video content successfully? How to actually, make it stand out? How to make sure that, besides the empty LA building, LA downtown LA.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So with video content, I think now more than ever, it's very important. I talk a lot about this, and then I'll talk about brand with video a little bit later. So remind me about
Okay.
that. But
Yeah.
with video, I mean, it's something you could easily do on your phone, right? You pick up your phone, you shoot a video, you make a
Mhm.
reel, you put it on Instagram or YouTube Shorts, or Facebook also has their own reels. Um, in order to like leverage yourself and your brand, anyone who's in real estate, like your face is the brand, right? And so
Correct.
how
Yeah.
do you multiply yourself and put yourself in as many places as possible through video? because video, not only can you reach endless amounts of people, but also it's something that can be used multiple times, right? Like I can use I can use my reels on my Facebook reels, on my TikTok, on my YouTube shorts, right? Like you create one video and you're able to leverage it and be able to multiply it to different platforms, reaching different people. And you can measure it, right? That's another incredible thing I think with video. So that is explaining why it's so important. Two, I think the question that I get a lot is like content, right? Like
Content, yeah. What should people come up with? Yeah.
So in my book, and we'll talk about this later, like Brand with Purpose, I talk about the importance of building brand pillars. Any brand, every major, small, mid-tier brand, they create these brand pillars, and usually they pick 5. For me, it's real estate, it's design, it's technology, it's philanthropy, and it's travel, international travel.
Yeah.
And so those are the 5 things that in my marketing, in my videos, in everything that we do, those are the 5 things that we keep pushing out into my ecosystem. I don't do more because then it gets people confused of like, wait, like what to do again, right? And creating these brand pillars for yourself. And if you're part of a team, this is something you share with your team. This is something that you put on your wall when you're thinking of, we want to write a blog. Great. Those are our brand pillars. Oh, we want to come up with a new event for our real estate clients. Great. Those are our brand pillars. Like, how can you've got to always work out around your brand pillars. And it's something that could keep you, it's like those bumpers when you go bowling, right? These are the bumpers that keep you in your own lane so that people don't, get confused again with who you are, what you do, what areas you serve, and what your specific niche is.
So basically, when they look at, for example, McDonald's, the Golden Arch, they know exactly what it is. Golden Arches. They look at the mermaid, the green mermaid of the Starbucks. They know exactly what it is.
Exactly. They have their brand pillars, right? Like with McDonald's, it's like they've got their locations. They're almost everywhere. That's a huge brand pillars of there because they're everywhere around the world. No matter where you go, there's a location and they're consistent. So wherever they are, McDonald's is consistent. If you're here, if you're in New York, if you're in Mexico, you'll bite into a cheeseburger. It's the exact same taste.
Same with Starbucks. Doesn't matter. Right here, you go to Italy, you go to Mexico, it's the same everywhere. Same menu, same golden mermaid, and same uniform for the staff. So they really picked out the brand, So
the brand pillars, right?
Yeah, that's really amazing. Yeah. So what do you think, Ivan? I mean, I'm always like wondering because with Virtudesk, we also do videos, for the audience, and we try to come up with some value. So for not just video, not only entertaining, I mean, it has to be fun to watch because otherwise people are just going to scroll down because the attention span right now is like what, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, So how do you ensure that your video actually grabs attention and at the same time provides some value to the viewer?
Well, the grabbing attention part is staying consistent with what's going on in the world. It's okay if you're going after real estate agents like you as Virtudesk. It's like figuring out, okay, what are the hot topics right now for real estate agents, right? So the hot topics, right? The interest rates are going up. We have inflation. Like those are trigger words. Like you've got to figure out what are the trigger words for that specific industry that's going to grab my attention, right? Like for me right now, my trigger words are, recession, inflation, buyer's market, right? Like all these words that for me would grab my attention, say, okay, these are my pain points. Like my pain points right now is I have a lot of listings that are not selling. That's a pain point. My other pain point is I have a lot of buyers who are non-committal because there's a lot of inventory and they feel like there's more coming. So why should they commit now? Right? That's another one of my pain points. So I think really putting it up front saying, okay, I'm going after this group of people. These are their pain points. You got to start with that question right away. Hey, you're having a problem with so-and-so in the next 15, 20 seconds, right? I'm going to help you how to solve it, right? Because we all want a solution.
So you basically throw in a hook right there to them so they can swallow the hook.
Right away. right
It has
away.
to be interesting. You don't have time to, wishy-washy kind of a, you basically have to throw it out there, grab their attention so they can actually stay longer on your video, pretty
Exactly. And
much.
give them the answer and not float around where, oh, you want the answer? Put
Watch
your
until the end. Watch to the end. That's not really a TikTok thing though.
yeah.
Watch to the end to get an answer.
Well, yeah, no, watch until the end, but like, because there was other videos that I've seen from other, people were like, oh, you want the answer? Great. Put your email here and we will email it to you,
Oh
right? Like,
no.
yeah, no.
Nobody's gonna do that. Nobody's gonna do that. Of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. So do you follow certain rules when you come to interacting with your audience in a way that promotes your brand? Like, do you get any like certain set in stone rules or canons of Ivan Estrada?
Like rules. What do you mean by rules?
Well, I
Elaborate.
mean, like when you're interacting with your audience, I mean, you obviously interact with your audience. They obviously comment on your video, right? They send you DMs. I mean, I've seen sometimes people like they don't do any sales pitch in their videos. They have like specific and interacting with the audience. They don't want to do. They don't want to be salesy.
Right.
Sometimes people always have call to action. Every video must have call to action, like follow, subscribe, like, comment, or click to learn more. So that's more call to action. I mean, I spoke with some people who do have call to action. Some people have it's like unwritten rules they have when interacting with the audience, so
Yeah. So I mean, my first rule is you gotta have an intention for every video, right? Like, what's the point? You gotta have a
it
point
has
for
to have
what
an intention, right?
intention. Number
Okay.
two is yes, I 100% you need to have a call to action because everyone's distracted and everyone's living their own life, and you need to tell people exactly what you want them to do. Do you want them to subscribe? Do you want
Yeah.
them to comment? Do you want them to put in their email? What is it that you want? Because you have to be very upfront about it and not, beat around the bush. Because people like honesty, especially millennials, they're not into that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that's my rule that I do as best as I can with all my social media is you gotta you gotta engage, right? If somebody messages you sends you a comment, even my DMs, I get a lot of DMs from people that I don't know, and I always make the time to respond because if they're making the time to
Absolutely.
send
Yeah.
me a message, I think it's nothing like part of my brand pillars, right? Is respect. I want to
Yeah.
respect even the people who are following me and watching my content. If they took time to watch and comment, I'm going to take the time to comment back, even if it's not a
Basically
great
extend the
comment.
courtesy. Yeah.
Always, always. The example I was given a long time ago is if someone says hi to you out in the hallway and you just ignore them
You're
and
gonna
keep
say hi.
walking,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
You're gonna
not
sound like an
commenting back.
asshole. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's a good point. So, Ivan, I mean, looking at your content, you probably have a big team, right, behind you, working with you and helping you work
So,
together with your content. How big is
yeah,
your team? Talk to us about it, man.
yeah. So I have two real estate agents on my team full time. There's
Mhm.
three of us total. There was more about a year ago, but obviously as times change, we got to tighten the
Of
ship.
course. Yeah.
I have a full-time admin,
Mhm.
and part-time TC, and then also a full-time marketing. And so
Okay.
for all my video content, I film like today, I just filmed today.
Mhm.
I usually film 3 months of content, bring different clothes. I do have to prep everything and
On
how
the
I
same
prep
day?
everything on the same day. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Do
Okay.
it all the same day. So that way it
Because
gets
you also repurpose the content, right? Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And that
Yeah.
way, I don't have to film anything for the next 3 months because it's already done. We have a ton of content, different, like I said, different changes of clothing, different backgrounds, different topics.
Mhm.
But I just do it that way so that way, no matter how busy you get, there's no excuse, right? Because at the end of the
Yeah.
day,
Exactly.
for video content, the key, you don't have to have the best videos, the most produced, the best lighting. Obviously, all that does help, right?
Mhm.
Especially going up towards the luxury market. For me, it's like my luxury clients do appreciate quality, but
Mhm.
consistency, right? The key is consistency. If you do a video here and there every couple of weeks, it's
Yeah,
not,
you gotta
it's
basically do
day
it
out.
consistently.
Exactly. You got to
Indeed.
be consistent. But with my team, I mean, we sit with one another every 2 months. What do we want to talk about for the next 3 months that are good topics that are related to our brand pillars? And then what they do is they send me all the content, and then I watch it. I watch it and I
Hmm.
internalize it, and I always ask myself, how do I relate to this? So that way, whenever I'm on camera, it's like, yes, I'm regurgitating information, but with my
Hmm.
take, right? My perspective and why I think it's important.
That's pretty cool, dude.
It's
Yeah.
not a huge team. It's just literally you just have to make the time. Obviously, like with Virtudesk, like you can have a virtual assistant pull up all the content for you,
Of
put it
course.
together, nice bullet points. Obviously, they can't do it for you because you're the
No,
brand.
you gotta do it yourself.
And
Yeah.
then the virtual assistant could then go, once it's done and recorded from your video guy, the virtual assistant could go out and put it on all the social media, on YouTube, on Instagram,
Of
on
course.
TikTok, and all of that.
I mean, that's what we do here as well. I mean, I record content weekly, and some days, I mean, specifically dedicated to recording content. Either we do a podcast like this, or we do videos. So that my in-house crew records everything, sets it up for me. Virtual assistants actually run the thing in the background. Like right now, we're doing a podcast, and we have some virtual assistants actually present and setting everything up, making sure it's actually uploaded everywhere to the podcasts, platforms, YouTube. They're gonna probably do some cuts and for the shorts for the YouTube, and basically, I mean, I have to run a company, and I don't do this full time.
Yeah.
Obviously, same as you are. You have to run your own business. You don't do it, full time marketing probably. So
No.
you got to dedicate the days, certain days when you actually do it. And it's a
Right.
good point. And do you probably have like some sort of a standard operating procedures for your marketing uh department, right? How
Oh
things
yeah.
are done, how
Systematic.
things
Everything,
should be
yeah.
done,
Yeah.
you know.
Everything is a system. It's in real estate. If you really want to do a lot of business, right, work with a lot of clients and really do branding and marketing, because at the end of the day, it's for real estate agents, it's branding and marketing, sales and negotiation, right, and prospecting. And those are
Yeah.
the things that keep the wheels going. And you have to keep them all going at the same time all the time. Like there's no, oh, do more
Absolutely.
marketing this time, and okay,
Yeah.
now, oh, I have a lot of clients, so I don't have to do a ton of videos and all that. No, it doesn't matter. You always have to keep the wheels going, right? No matter what.
Yeah. Ivan, I always ask this question. A lot of real estate folks I talk to, I always ask this question: what would be your advice to agents who got licensed within the last 2 years, and they just got hit in the face with this current market that we have?
Yeah.
Because they got used to, like, the only problem they used to have back in the day, like a few months ago, picking which offer to take. And now it's a little bit different.
It's a
So
little different. So my advice for anyone who's started brand new in the last 2 years, you know, this business, it's a prospecting business. And I think a lot of us
yeah,
got very comfortable
too
because
comfortable.
the business was coming to us instead of us going to it.
Yeah.
And so right now, you've got to stop seeing yourself like a real estate agent and start seeing yourself as a business person, right?
Hmm.
How does a business person run? They have a plan, right? Everyone has a blueprint to success, and figuring out, okay, what do I need to do today on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and on a monthly basis to generate more prospects and more leads that can turn into sales, right? And that could be from, we've been talking about it during this whole like conversation, video, right? There's door
Yeah.
knocking, which is, I tell a lot of real estate agents, you've got to go back to the basics. Like when I started 14 years ago, I called my sphere, I sent handwritten letters, I door knocked, I networked, I became I joined groups like affiliate groups that for me were,
Oh,
it could
you
be
started in
through
2008, right?
and yeah, in 2000, yeah, 2008.
That's when the
Wait,
market crash happened, dude.
yeah, when the market crashed, yeah.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
get into the real estate before it happened or after?
After it crashed.
Oh, okay. So that was like
Yeah.
the time of a lot of short sales,
Short
REOs,
Aria, all that. I
foreclosures.
did
Yeah.
all of those for Fannie Mae.
Ah.
I had to do all that. And so back then you really learned how to run a business and you realize how hard this business is because it's the last 2 years, a lot of us, I felt like we're just order takers, right? We're just
Yeah,
writing those
yeah.
offers, sending them in, but that was an unrealistic market. And so now the reality is you need to, all the work that you did last year, you need to do it 2, 3 times as hard. Prospecting calls,
100%.
getting your hands dirty, and doing everything that others
Open
are not
houses, talk to
doing.
people. Yeah. The more
Yeah,
people you
people,
talk to, the more potential clients you will get. People will
exactly.
still always be buying or selling in any market. You know,
Exactly. And the biggest piece of information that I could give new agents to as well is you need to continue educating yourself as much as you possibly
always
can.
keep
There's a
learning.
lot of education, YouTube, books, read the news, know what's going on with the interest rates, know what's going on with inflation, because then you become that much more valuable. And in markets like this, buyers and sellers are looking for valuable agents who know the information, know the market, and can hold their hand during this process, because I have buyers and sellers who are scared, who don't
Of
know
course
what's
they
going to
are.
happen,
Yeah.
losing retirement. They're worried, they're getting into the market at a very high interest rate. If you can build trust and rapport with the client through your market knowledge and your knowledge as a broker and as an agent, that's what's going to help solidify your business and help you get to the next level in a market like this.
Yeah, exactly. And don't be afraid to pivot because, whatever you've been doing, let's say 8, 9 months ago, it's not the same what you should be doing to actually sell homes right
Yeah,
now. You always got to be pivoting. You always need to change strategy and to come up with new stuff and actually be flexible.
right.
So that's just one of those things. And if you got your license within the last couple of years when the market was red hot, well, time to actually rethink your strategy.
Mhm.
You know, and when you say like go back to the basics, I mean, I heard it like you're like guy number 3 or 4 tells me during this week the same thing. Go back to the basics. That's what
Yeah.
agents should be doing. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Ivan, it was very fun talk to you, brother, and appreciate you coming on this podcast. So we'll just wrap it up right now, and I wish you success in your business and your growth. You
I
know,
appreciate it. Thank you
of
guys. Yeah. And
course.
if you guys like I said, branding and marketing education, I'm just gonna do a
Yeah,
little plug.
why don't we talk about your book? Yeah, this is your
Book.
book, right? Brand
Yeah,
with
this
Purpose, Ivan
brand with
Estrada.
purpose, my book. It's Barnes and Noble, Target, every airport.
Amazon.
I just did a TED talk on this, which comes out in 3 weeks. So it's
Nice.
all about branding and marketing. And so it's this is all my secrets to success are in this book.
And where can people find you? Where can they follow you?
They can follow my real estate site at Ivan Estrada Properties for Instagram and YouTube. And then ivanestrada.com is where people can buy the book, also buy my course, Brand with Video, which helps people all video marketing branding. It brand with video is like that's again all my video secrets are there on how to build a brand from step 1 to step 10.
That's it, guys. You heard it. Please follow Ivan. Check out his website and buy the book because you know what? I'm not buying the books and I'm not selling, not getting any money, but I am endorsing Ivan's product because he knows his stuff. He's a smart dude and knows his stuff, and definitely recommended you guys to do that. So anyway, thank you very much for coming on this podcast, Ivan. Really great talking to you. And we'll just wrap it up.
Sounds good. Thank you.